36, therefore. Continuing House Bill, second reading regular, top of page 36, bill before the body. Next is House Bill 2449. It seeks to amend and reenact sections of the Code of Virginia relating to concealed handgun permits, Virginia Criminal Information Network, disclosure of information. The bill is reported to the Committee on Public Safety.
The delegate from Giles, Delegate Ballard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House, House Bill 2449 deals with the Virginia Code section related to entry of information into the Virginia Criminal Information Network. This bill simply adds the phrase, when such information is related to a criminal investigation or prosecution, to the code section. Hope it's the pleasure of the House to engross the bill and pass it on to its third reading.
Shall the bill be engrossed and passed to its third reading? As many as favor that motion will say aye. The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon. The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon.
Mr. Speaker, will the delegate yield for a question?
Will the delegate yield?
I'll yield, Mr. Speaker.
The delegate yials.
I'm sorry, I thought I had my speak light on, but
I thought it was for the last thing you did. I apologize.
That's okay. So, Mr. Speaker, I'd ask the delegate. What your bill does is it says that the information about concealed carry permit information won't be available to the state police unless it's for a ongoing criminal investigation or prosecution, so that the state police may be doing routine traffic duty, or maybe they're about to pull somebody over for a traffic infraction, wouldn't be able to run the plate, run that through VSIN, and know whether the person driving the car was a concealed carry permit or not, because they weren't conducting an actual criminal investigation. Am I reading the bill correctly?
Mr. Speaker, I would tell the delegate that what it simply does is it narrows that exception. The way the code read previously is it had the phrase or word duties, and this is just adding on to that says duties when such information is related to a criminal investigation or prosecution.
Mr. Speaker, speaking to the bill.
The delegate has the floor.
So, Mr. Speaker, members of the House, because we're short on time, I haven't gotten up to speak to a lot of these bills, but we've seen a series of one bill after another that we've engrossed, and we're about to vote on next week, that make it easier to carry concealed weapons in more places, make it easier to renew your concealed carry permit, make them last longer, and essentially are going to have more guns in more places more often, and we've just made it more difficult for the police to know whether the person they're about to engage with is carrying a concealed permit or not. Mr. Speaker, members of the House, again, I don't want to speak to every one of these bills, and we know where these bills are going to wind up. I mean, they're going to wind up in a trash can across the hall. But we continue to see these bills come forward, and they are not making us safer. We had a march. We had folks coming to our offices telling us to value a culture of life. And on this side of the aisle, we think that extends to people that are victims of gun violence, people that are gunned down every day. Our bills on safe storage, our bills to hold people accountable after a child gets a hold of a weapon because it wasn't stored safely, our bills to make that a criminal penalty. All those bills were defeated, right? And these bills to allow more people to carry more guns in more places with fewer restrictions and not even let the police know who's got them are all about to be engrossed and passed. I think that says a lot about the values of the members of this body and whether we really we value life, whether we value safety, whether we're really serious about keeping our kids safe or not. Mr. Speaker, members of the House, I know I've just picked this one. I know it's going to happen. We won't engross this bill. I hope we get a chance to vote on all of these bills tomorrow. We'll vote our values. We won't compromise our values for the extremists who want you all to pass these bills. These are common sense bills that we have introduced and failed. These bills are extreme bills, and I hope they'll be defeated tomorrow. I hope it will be the pleasure of the body not to engross the bill and pass it to its third reading.
Shall the bill be engrossed and passed to its third reading? As many as favor that motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and passed to its third reading.